Hello, Miss Lahart here for Monday's video. We don't really have to talk. So, I don't know how many of you actually looked at the Regents exam, and at the last page on the Regents exam was your reference sheet, the one sheet that has most of your formulas from the year. Now, when you look at this, I don't want you to get intimidated because there's a lot in here that we might hit this year, we might not, okay? But for right now, we have done y equals mx plus b, right? Slope, y-intercept, linear equation for slope-intercept. Today, we're tackling the slope formula, m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And then our linear equation, which is point slope form, we will do later this week. So we're hitting stuff in Algebra 1. All right. So last week, guys, we did slope graphically. Okay. When I mean graphically, I gave you a graph, I gave you two coordinate points, and then you counted how many boxes there were. So this was up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was a positive 5 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was a slope of 5 over 4. Okay. What happens if they don't give you a graph and they just give you the two coordinate points? That's where the slope formula comes into play. Okay, this is your slope formula. The slope, which is m, remember slope is m, is the equation of y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So basically we find the difference between the y's and divide it by the difference of the x's. Okay, when we were doing it on a graph, we were counting those boxes. When we have the coordinate points, we have to do the difference. That's what gives us the distance between these two things. Now, the 1 and 2 might be very confusing, but guys, you have two coordinate points. x1, y1 stands for the first coordinate. x2, y2 stands for the second coordinate. Okay, so it's very important to remember that the first one is the x, the second one is the y. The slope formula is the difference of the y's over the difference of the x's. Okay, now in your box, I say set yourself up for success. We know that we have to take the division of the difference of the y's and the x's. So set that up on your paper, write that. Okay, now let's actually figure out what we're plugging in. Do I have a highlighter in this thing? Smart pen. Highlighter. Okay, let's go for it. Let's see if this works. Ooh, that's ugly. Oh God. Oh no, that was horrible. Okay, anyway, what are my y's? Okay, it gets better a little bit. Let's go like that. Can you see it? Okay, that one sucks. But anyway, my two y values for that are 2 and 7. I'm going to start with the second point because the formula starts with the second point. Y2, which in this case is 7. Okay, and then y1 is 2. 7 minus 2 in the top. Now, what's very important is if I start with the second y, I have to start with the second one's x. So then on the bottom, I'm doing 5 minus 1. Okay? Grab your graphing calculator, please and thank you. Get yourself to a calculator page. Hit Control Divide so that your fraction is there. Put that in one foul swoop and then hit Enter. Okay? If you go ahead, pause the video, put that in, hit enter. Okay, if you didn't pause the video, what your calculator would pop out is a 5 over 4, which is what we found when we did it before. We counted up 5 over 4. This gives you the slope, which is 5/4. Okay. Now, you might say, well, what happens if I start with 2 minus? So what if you would went with this y minus this y, the other direction? So then in the bottom, you would have to do the 1 minus the 5. No matter what, guys, your calculator will still give you 5 over 4 because they're the same thing. Right? It's always the difference of the y's over the difference of the x's. The main thing that is if you use the first y value, you have to use the first x value underneath it. If you use the second y value, you have to use the second x value underneath it. Okay? All right, here we go. Ew. Sorry, I've never used those. All right, so here we go. All right, again, set yourself up for success. Put the fraction bar and put the subtraction and subtraction on the top and the bottom. Okay? All right, let's go for it. Y2 minus y1. So that would be, in this case, 5 minus a negative 1. Okay. And guys, remember, in your graphing calculator, the subtraction sign and the negative sign are two totally different buttons. Don't screw them up. So 5 minus the -1. Then in the bottom, since I started with 5, I have to start with the -9. -9 minus the 9. Type that into your calculator. You hit enter. Go ahead and pause the video if you want to do it. 3, 2, 1. You would get a -1/3. Okay. Third point. So what happens if they're both negative? Go with it. Y2 minus Y1. So again, set yourself up for success with the fraction with the subtractions. Then here we go. Y2 in this case is -7. Y1 is -2. Okay. X2 in the bottom would be -6. X1 in the bottom would be -8. You type in your calculator, -7 minus a -2 divided by -6 minus a -8. You would end up with a -5/2. Okay. Another one. Ooh, positives. This is nice. Okay, again, set yourself up for success with the fraction and the subtraction signs. Okay, we're going to go with Y2, which is 1, minus Y1, which is 12. The difference of your Y values over the difference of the X values. With 1, the X value for that is 2, so that goes there. And then the X value for 12 is 16. 1 minus 12, 2 minus 16, you'd end up with a positive 11/14. All right, the last two are the special cases, okay? Y2 minus Y1, again, set yourself up for success. In the top, I'm going to have 19 minus 10. In the bottom, I'm going to have 6 minus 6. Now, I should have cropped a picture of this. I want you to pause the video right now and plug this in because this comes out interesting, okay? You might not think it's interesting, but it is, okay? If you type this in your calculator, it will pop out UNDEF. I don't know if the I is in there. I don't remember. But anyway, what does that mean? That means it is undefined. Remember, an undefined one is a vertical line. Vertical line. They always give us slopes of undefined because you can't divide by 0. Love that for us. The next one, if this one's vertical, the other one's probably horizontal. Okay, if I go to do the difference of the y's, we would have 20 minus 20. Interesting. And then 8 minus 0. So in the top, we would end up with 0. That's a horizontal line. Okay. All right, so then the class did get boards. We did not do very many with the boards, but if you are working, again, grab yourself a sheet of paper and just set it up. Set yourself up for success, okay? Put this down first. All right, here we go. Your first coordinate point where you're finding your slope is the point 911 and -20/11. Pause the video, write your plug-in, write your answer, and then hit play to see if you got it right. All right, did you do 11 minus 11? And then did you do 9 minus a -20? Or you could have done -20 minus 9 in this case, but you ended up with 0. Did you get 0? Okay, yay. That was honestly a bad point to leave. Let's do another one. Again, race your numbers, okay, to set yourself up for success, a division line, a subtraction, and a subtraction. Here we go. First one, Y2 is -12. Next one is a -17. If -12, the X was 0, the Y. Oh, shoot, I didn't even say pause. Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. I forgot that this was a U-try on boards. Let's just finish the problem. Ooh, it has been a bad, long day. So if you got that, it would be -5/9. Okay, next one. I will not spoil. Pause the video and try this example. 3, 2, 1, here we go. I ended up with a positive 1/3. Again, you might have -5 minus -7, and in the bottom have 11 minus 5. No matter what, you get a positive 1/3. Next one. Go ahead and pause the video. And if you got this, stop the video, go do the classwork. But anyway, here we go. Pause the video. All right, that would be 6 minus 15, excuse me, Y2 minus Y1, 14 minus 1. You would end up with a -9/13. -9/13. Final answer. All right, I think this is the last you try, but go ahead and try it again. Pause the video. All right, we got -10 minus a -8. We've got -2 minus a -2. We end up getting undefined. Gorgeous. Oh, there's another one. Okay, I'm bad. I'm sorry. I think this is the last one. She's struggling today. All right, what do we got? Y2 is negative 19. The next one is negative 50 or minus 15. In the bottom, I have negative 4 minus 13. So I end up with a positive 2. All right, now go do the classwork. That's the video for the slope formula. Heart you, miss the heart out.